Alright, the rundown then. We're going to look at performance, we're going to look at some glitches and whether they are still a thing in the game. We're going to look at what bug fixes have been mentioned, so let's get on with it. Hi everyone, a very small video for you today, just a patch update review with the latest Tears of the Kingdom 1.1.1 patch that just dropped. As always, the patch notes are decidedly vague, and let's be honest, 1.1.0 was already in a very good state, so this is going to be quite a short one, but hopefully it'll tell you what you want to know. If you enjoy this type of content, then consider sticking around. We do patch reviews and revisits, and we have a bit of a laugh as well in our interesting game series. Alright, patch 1.1.1, what does it actually do? Well, let's find out. The best thing to do for performance is to go back to the area that I first noticed severe drops. That was right up in the Sky Islands, when you have to build your little raft to go across the larger body of water. Here my performance would come right down to 20, and it's also a good area to get an idea of general image quality. In that same area then, with the updated 1.1.1, well, performance is almost exactly the same. There is the potential here that they've done a little optimization, but for me, I can still get it to drop right down to 20 FPS. Is it as consistently bad as it was in that area? I'm not entirely sure. Let's take a look at them side by side. There was some concern that they've messed with the FSR with the latest patch and that it had degraded the image quality, but I don't think that's the case. For the hardware, it still looks mighty impressive, and I don't notice any extreme downsampling going on. It's funny, isn't it? With patches these days, you can actually worry about them making the game worse or breaking things that previously worked. But as far as the overall image quality goes and the draw distance, as well as performance, things aren't getting worse, that's for sure. And performance gains in certain regions, and it's certainly not got worse. Is there the potential that they've tweaked it slightly and it's a little bit better? Maybe, but I think it was already mostly 30 FPS for the vast majority of the locations. It's interesting to me because I'm a big fan of MVG, Modern Vintage Gamer, and he put out a video with his overclocked Switch, and with just a slight memory boost, he was able to lock the game out at 30 FPS across the board. Part of me, when I saw this patch drop, wondered if they might have sneakily under the hood just overclocked things, but no, that is not the case, unfortunately. It does go to show how little is needed though. Now, as for the things that the patch definitely does fix, they fixed an issue where the player couldn't clear a main quest, the closed door. This should, after the update, if you had a problem with that and were stuck, be fixed. Their extensive patch notes also say that they've fixed several issues to improve the gameplay experience. Now, I did see quite a few people complaining, oh, why don't we have more detailed patch notes? But then there was also a developer on Reddit that was saying he's someone that has to create the fixes for these problems, and they're so often incredibly specific, very difficult sometimes to even articulate. But I do think they could give you a little bit more in terms of what it fixes. I think we can add our own one on, can't we? Stability improvements. It definitely feels so much more stable. Now, with all of that said, I've been reading a few articles about the incredible work that Nintendo did to even get it into the state that it was in. In my initial patch review, I commented that I think it's a bit of a technical masterpiece based on the hardware that they've got here and the incredibly few bugs, using a very detailed physics system that applies even to objects that you've made within a world. There's so much calculation going on that's impossible. Well, it seems impossible, really. So anything that Nintendo do to improve things, that's very good. Now, there will be another area that a lot of you are wondering about, and it's the duplication glitch, and I don't really want to talk about how that's done because it's not really something that I use myself, and I can confirm though that it hasn't been fixed in the game, it's still there. However, there is the potential that the dupe glitch related to flight might have been tweaked ever so slightly, so you might want to keep your eye on that one. Interestingly, in higher performing areas, those glitches aren't as easy to replicate, he says, having clearly never done it himself. Honest officer. So if you were worried about upgrading for various reasons, then don't be. You can update to this version. It certainly won't make the game any worse, and those quest fixes and the other unnamed fixes I'm sure will come out in the coming days, but it's nothing major. Make sure you're subscribed if you want updates on any patches that will be coming out for major games, things like Pokemon, GTA, and anything else in our all patched up series. If you want to buy eShop credit, you can save yourself a little bit of money over at switchup.gg, where you'll essentially get our coins and you'll still get your Nintendo coins when you make purchases, and it supports us a little bit. Thanks so much for all of you that enjoy the content, and as always, for all things Switch, all the time, keep it Switch up. Cheers guys, see ya!